Hello everyone and welcome back to Satisfactory. Today we are starting off work on the new space elevator components. Welcome back. Last time we left off, we built the new modular frame and the reinforced plate factory. As you can see right here, looks to be going pretty well. And of course I'm standing on a lookout tower to actually get a good view of it. Okay, first things first, let's go, I guess, get the research for what we actually need, because we do not have the new components researched, and that's kind of an important step when building them. Industrial manufacturing. 200 modular frames, 200 motors, 400 plastic, and 1,000 cables. Not too bad. I should have all of those. The only thing that I may not have is modular frames, because they haven't had enough time to actually build up. Let's see, actually, how many do we have? There's no way we have a grand total of 0, right? Are they all going into here? Okay, yeah. So they're all going into versatile framework production. This takes 2.5 a minute. Eventually we'll be making 10, so we'll have 7.5 as the actual output. And also, I should probably just go around and start upgrading all of these storages. Looks like you can't actually upgrade them. Well, that's too bad. There we go. More storage for motors. Motors only stack to 50 after all, so we need to have a little bit of extra buffer. Could do the same for rotors, but I haven't really been using a whole lot of them, and I think this entire container of them is probably going to be just fine. They also stack up to 100 anyways. All right, now do I have any plastic? I think I kind of put it in one of these boxes for safekeeping. It looks like I did. Still going to have to wait for modular frames, though, which is fine because I kind of neglected to do any of the Fixmas stuff last time, so let's get going on that, shall we? Okay, we got our tree branches, we got our iron ornaments and some extra ingots. Now we're going to have to go and do the copper ones, I think. Yeah, because we were going to go for this. Yeah, maybe it was... I don't actually know. I have no idea what we were doing, but we were doing it. So let's go ahead and grab 50 and 50, and I believe this was for the gift tree here. So let's go ahead and grab that. Hooray.
You can now finally automate gift production with the Fixmas gift tree and focus your attention back on tasks of actual importance, like not questioning where the gifts are coming from and improving your infrastructure.
Yeah, shut up. Okay, I think the next thing we were going for was this one, and I just need to get the 50 copper ornaments. Okay. That makes sense. Theoretically, we should just need, maybe it's 100 of the red ones? I don't actually know. Yeah, 100 of the red ones, and we need 100 of copper. All right, well, that should be cooking up. We'll probably also need to cook up some more ornaments. Is this a box of copper here? Okay, yep, that's been here the whole time, and I still have not done anything with it. Okay, well, let's go queue up some more ornaments as well. We're gonna need them. You know, I realistically could actually put a factory together for this, but at the same time... Nah. Okay, well, now we're just waiting for modular frames, so let's go see if there's any cool research we can do, or we could go wander around and look for hard drives. I think that's a great idea. I already know where some of them are because I've marked them on the map. Now, I am starting to mark the ones that I've already gotten with these little explosion icons, so if I ever need to go look up like an actual map or something, because I guarantee you there's a whole bunch of these that are actually mapped out. So if I ever need to go around and look for them, I can, and I'll know which ones I've been to, but I'm not going to do that until I absolutely need to, if I ever do. We know there's one here that's in the gas. We know there's one here that needs power. There's a couple over here. And I still need to go over here and deal with this dismantle crate. So let's go ahead and make some gas masks, because I haven't had any of those forever. And we can bring the obelisk and blow them all up. I like this plan. Maybe I should go over to that sulfur vein and just put down my miners like I've done for the SAM and rock quartz. Ooh! That reminds me, we should get a setup for SAM, right? Because making this stuff is kind of annoying. I don't think I'll do the SAM fluctuators because I don't have a copper iron source. Actually, I do. I do have some copper and iron over there. See, the thing is, I don't know if we actually need the reanimated ones for anything other than the fluctuator. I'm not sure. Let's go look in the research. Well, truth be told, I have no idea. It looks like it's all just the last one, right? All right, now, a real question. How many modular frames do we actually have in storage? 24. That's enough to make a miner. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go set up SAM production, and it's going to be over here. So we are going to have to run a power line over there, but that is fine. I'm getting distracted a whole bunch, but that's okay. Is there anything actually in here that I will need in the near future? I say need, but it's more like want. Is there anything that I want in? Hypertube floor and wall attachment. Those actually might be nice. Clean pipe, that's just a skin. We have some organizations. Those would actually be kind of nice to have. Ooh, and shelves. Very tempting. Oh. Huh, I wonder what that looks like. Ooh. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm tempted to just redo my entire foundations with this. No, let's not do that. Okay, at least we have it, though. Let me go put my tickets in storage. Let's get this SAM going. I think I'm also going to solve another problem and get rid of these stupid plants. Much better. Now, getting this out of here is going to be a little interesting. I think I'm just going to run a Very, very tall conveyor lift. I don't actually know how tall you can make these, but we're about to find out. Okay, so they do have a limit. That does kind of make sense. Ah, there's more plants. Oh, yeah, man. There we go, nice little SAM factory. Okay, now the actual thing is I don't remember how to craft this stuff into actual stuff, so let's take a look. All right, constructor, and it does 30 of these per minute. This is 120 SAM. Wow, that's actually quite a lot. Okay, hold on. Is that even true? Reanimated SAM. It takes, wow, 120 a minute. Okay, I actually don't know what the drill's gonna do. Suppose we should also get this connected. Now, we should probably run a power line. Now, the real question is, can I actually get power all the way down there? Wire too long. Figures. Is that cheesy? No, I'm doing it. There we go. Now, okay. Well, I've fallen down anyways. Let's just go down here and see how much this makes. Is this... Okay, so this is 120. So this is a normal vein. Okay. Huh. Well, if I ever need more than that, we're just going to have to suffer, I guess. All right, and the reanimated SAM is a thing that goes into the copper wire and steel pipes to make the SAM fluctuator. Now, it does look like there's, wow, a lot more things that this can go into. So maybe we want to stop here. But also, I don't really want to have to craft those other things by hand. And if I'm not mistaken, there's copper and iron over here. Wow, speak of the devil. You know, I also could just scan for it. That is a thing that I can do. But also, there's some iron right there, so we'll use this. Okay, you know what? I just had a small realization. We actually can't craft those. I think we need the next tier of assembler thingy, because these take 3 components. All right, sweet. Got some reanimated SAM. And the reason I went out of my way to set this up is because I want to get some dimensional depots down, because I am sick and tired of running out of things. And maybe also do some upgrades, but who knows. Let's just grab this and see what we can do. All right, for the low cost of 47 SAM thingies and 3 Mercer spheres, we can increase our upload speed by 50%, which I think is worth it. But also, we can only make 10 of these at the moment, so we're going to have to wait a little bit for the SAM to show up. Truth be told, that's kind of expected, and I don't really mind. Well, our copper baubles are done, so we can go get the next Fixmas thing. Was it this one down here? We just need some blue. I don't think we have blue. All right, don't look. It's ugly, but it's going to work. All right, well, our little SAM factory produced about 90 reanimated, so why don't we just go get those dimensional depots down? That makes sense, and we got nothing else to do. Well, 14 Mercer spheres. You think that's enough? All right, next dimensional depot is down, and it is going on the reinforced beams. There we go. Now we should have another one popping into there. Sweet. So now we don't have to worry about that, and I need to go grab some more SAM and some more everything to get the next one in. Steel's going to go first. I think I'm also going to go do Caterium wire next, mostly because that is pretty difficult to make off-site. The other stuff is not too bad, you know, iron, copper components. If we run into that where we just need like 10 more copper wire, I could just make some, so that's not that bad. But Caterium, can't really do that. So that's what we're going to do next. And then after that, I'm going to run all the way over to the oil processing and put that on rubber and plastic as well. If I want large quantities of the stuff, I would still need to run over there, which does kind of make sense. But at least we'll have some if we ever need a little bit. And there we have Caterium wire, which we do have a large amount of, by the way. And there's the steel pipes uploaded. Perfect. You know what? Next up, let's go run back over to the oil area. Also, I'll go open those 2 hard drives over there. The 300 megawatts of power and the one that's sitting in the gas, which I don't actually know what that one needs. So let's make some more gas masks. And you know what? I almost forgot about the old hypertube launcher. Let's see how fast this thing actually goes when I enter from the correct side. I think I entered on like halfway through last time. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking, and I've got jetpack so I can kind of keep my altitude. Woof! Oh yeah, we are zooming. Oh, and of course I hit a slope. That's super annoying. Okay, well, can't win them all. Alright, so here's the one that's in the gas. I do have gas masks, so I can't get rid of all these, and I am going to, as a matter of fact. And by get rid of all of them, I mean 2 of them, because I only have 2 left. Okay, well, alright, and this one just needs, what are these? Circuit boards. Okay, well, I don't have plastic on me, but I do know where to get it. I'm actually right over here as well, so Let's actually just go do that. Oh, and I'm also out of rebar. Ugh. Alright, also looks like plastic is completely full. That's quite impressive. Is rubber made at a slower rate than plastic? No, it's not. I think that the plastic was the first to go because it was the first to be able to pump out the waste liquid fast enough. That kind of makes sense. Okay. Well, I also should grab some more jetpack fuel while we're here. And let's get our dimensional depots down. Plastic and rubber secured. 15 circuit boards crafted. Annoyances removed. Inventory cleaned. And power plugged in. Thank you very much.
Fixit always did underestimate the power of a single cosmic ray flipping the right bit at the wrong time.
Yeah, that's totally what happened. Alright, 15 circuit boards for you. And there is our second one. Sweet. Alright, well, we got everything over here done, so let's go ahead and head back. I really don't have the inventory space to bring back some more rubber and plastic, and we do have the dimensional depot now, so if I ever need a little bit, I can just grab it out of there. Alright, straight into research you go. Alright, we got 2 today. Maybe we'll find more, maybe we won't. I don't know. Alright, well, I think that's going to be... Well, you know what? How many more dimensional depots can I build? 2 more? Something that I run out of all the time. Let's think about this. Pipes would be nice. Rotors, motors. Motors. Let's do motors. I like that plan. Maybe motors and rotors. Yeah, those are the 2 that we can do. And we'll just keep the basic stuff for now until we get more Mercer spheres. Okay, yep. There's our motors. And our rotors. Alright, and that will be all for the dimensional depots for now. I'll probably go build a couple more in the background if we ever end up getting more stuff for them. Or if I end up running out of a resource, I'm like, hey, I don't have a depot for this. Let's go get one, and then that's when I'll go get them. And by now, we do have enough modular frames to get the research. Finally, only took us like 45 minutes to get there. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Industrial manufacturing acquired.
Milestone reached. Manufacturers can receive up to 4 inputs for the production of complex parts, such as computers and heavy modular frames, but most importantly the 2 new project parts. The modular engine and adaptive control unit are essential for the development of Phase 3 of project assembly. You are making good progress. The future is starting to look bright.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and build one. Manufacturer. Wow, that's expensive. Okay. Whoa! Well, this will be interesting. 4 inputs. Hi. Okay, what can we actually make? There's the 2 things we need. SAM Fluctuator. Oh, very tempting to do that. Very, very tempting. Now that I can actually do it. Okay, let's see. Heavy modular frames. How? 2 a minute. So that's my entire modular frame factory gone if I want to make these. Bruh. I'm going to have to go find a new iron vein to do that if we want to. But also... steel pipes, encased beams, and that's a lot of screws. God! Okay, what do we actually need to make all of these things, though? That is the real... Holy... Whoa! Okie dokie! Ouch! This is the part where things start getting, factory-like, I see. Okay, well, let's think about this now. What are we gonna do first? Computers? Are we gonna need those? Yes. We're also going to need circuit boards. We're going to need the heavy modular frames, which we just looked at. We're going to need some motors. We're going to need some smart plates. We're going to need some rubber. So we are going to have to get our rubber over here somehow. There's a lot to do now. A lot to do. I think the first order of business that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over there and we're going to set up the SAM. I think that's a good idea. Having everything in one place is great, and it'll hopefully make me learn how to actually get these to work without having to deal with advanced logistics such as like moving everything everywhere. Let's go ahead, let's place this. I guess we can, well, I guess it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to work, right? So let's just put this here. This will be making the SAM fluctuators, and you can have some of the stuff from my inventory. Okay, so 60 per minute on these, and we're only making a 30, so let's actually just cut this in half. So we want 5, there we go. So now we just need 25 wires and 15 steel pipes. That's not too bad. The wire is going to be easy. Yep, we just need 15 copper ingots a minute. No problems there. And the pipes, if we wanted to use iron, we would need 15. So we would need 60 iron a minute, which is just a Mark II drill on an impure vein. Perfect. The copper's right here. Hopefully this is like impure or something, so I don't have to worry about wasting a whole lot of it. Normal, oof. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, eventually I'll probably be reworking all these factories anyway to upgrade to, you know, advanced speeds. But for now, that's fine. Alright, there we go. Little smelter array going on. We got our copper wire going in. We got our steel pipes, also known as iron pipes, going into this thing. This thing takes 55 megawatts, by the way, to run, but... Whew. Okay, but we should be making our SAM fluctuators once we get some pipes in there. It looks like we are good to go. Now, I did let the pipe system back up. Is it power inefficient? A little bit, but it's going to back up so we can eventually switch this over to 10 per minute because this will only be running half of the time. So I guess I should probably set this to 5 because we are only getting 30 reanimated SAM per minute. That's going to check out. Okay, let's get the storage in place here, and I'm not going to put a dimensional depot on this because I don't think I will need it. So that's good to go. I understand how those work. It's not too bad to set up. And now we've got SAM fluctuators in case we ever need them, which we will definitely be needing. Now, we are kind of at a crossroads here. What to do next is the question. We could work on some of the advanced components up there. I feel like we should do that. The issue isn't if we do, it's where, right? Because we're probably going to want to get a pretty, I don't want to say intense, but it's a pretty good word. We need to get a pretty intense setup for heavy modular frames, right? And unfortunately, I did just build a modular frame factory last episode, but I feel like we're gonna have to do it again, and we're gonna have to run all of it into heavy modular frames, which is kind of rough. So you know what? Why don't we just do that? That's gonna be our goal for this episode, heavy modular frame factory. So now what are we going to need for this? We're going to need a lot of iron, steel beams and concrete, so we're going to need someplace with coal, either steel or iron, and a bunch of iron. So we're going to have to go out and find someplace that has a stupid amount of iron and see what we can do. Now, the real question is, was I overlooking anything? I don't think so. Does this require any kind of rubber? No. So we need to find a place with a stupid amount of iron and a little bit of coal, and we can make a heavy modular frame factory. Now, we also should probably do a little bit of calculation to see how much actual iron we're going to need for this. So let's just do that. Basing off of the factor we made last time, 60 iron can make 5 reinforced plates. We need 15 reinforced plates to make 10 modular frames, plus we need 2 on rods, so that is 5, 10, 15, and 20. So we need 8 smelters, which is 240, so we need a Mark II on a pure vein just for the modular frames. Now, steel pipes. Are we going to use steel or are we going to use iron? I don't know. That's a great question. What about screws? 240 a minute. 15 iron per minute will make 60 screws. We need 4 of that, so we need 60 for the screws. Now, can I add the same thing to the to-do list twice? No, I cannot. Oof. Okay, never mind. I'm just going to write this down. Screw it. All right. Janky to-do list has been created. I have written it down on a piece of paper. So we are going to need 240 iron to get the modular frames, 60 iron to get the screws. We're going to need 120 steel, which means 120 iron, and 60 concrete to get the encased steel beams. And we are either going to need to choose between 60 iron and 60 coal, or 160 iron to get all of the pipes required. So, if we go with the full steel route for steel pipes, because we're going to have to get steel anyways, we're going to need 180 iron for steel, plus 60 for the screws, so that's 240, plus 240 for the frame, so we need 2 pure iron veins, or 4 normal iron veins, plus 180 coal to actually build 2 modular frames per minute. Yikes, that's a lot. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and scan. Now, I know there's some coal that way. I have not gone that way. Hopefully there's a bunch of iron over there too. Yep, that is the way. Now, where is that and how far out is it? Not too bad. We got normal, 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 and let me guess. Normal. Okay, that's perfect. That's enough coal. We just need 3 of these. Actually, it's 120 and 60, so we only need 2 of them. Okay, sweet. So I can use these 2, or maybe these 2. That's 180. Let's scan for the good old iron now. Use those, use those. Yep, yep, yep. Now, that's not ideal. That's not ideal at all. Although, maybe the range on iron is not as big as the other ones, because it didn't really seem to go that far. So let me go over here. Also, I've got a thing marked out with 4 veins or something. This is iron, yeah? So why didn't it scan this? I don't know. Yeah, and okay, so now you scan it? Yeah, the range on iron must be super low. Now, I also should bring my overclocks, because maybe if we find some impure veins, I can just, like, super speed up the output. That's going to take so much power. But, I mean, power isn't really a concern anymore, because we got a whole bunch of petroleum. I guess it's more oil, but, yeah, it's the same thing, whatever. Also, this is a nice-looking lake. I haven't been over this way before. Anything eventful over here? It is nighttime, so I'm not going to be able to see anything. But, oh well. All right, let's see. Iron, please. Oh, yeah. Okay, found a new vein right there. Got some new things around everywhere. Okay. Please be normal. Impure. Impure. Ugh. Pure. Ooh, hello. Can we work with this? Can we work with this? I think we needed 2 pures worth. So this would be 240. This would be 120. So if we overclocked these two, that would be enough. Oh, man. Okay, you know what? Let's head towards the pure vein. Maybe there's more. Also, haven't really been over this way before. What's going on over here? A summer sloop. I don't know what these do. Are these used for dimensional depot research? I don't know, but I'm grabbing it. Oh, there's more than one. Okay, cool.
Your
Well,
mimic tapestry grows in the shallows and the clouds, but not through the windows. What is your route?
I have no roots, nor do I operate on windows. But perhaps you mean something akin to the human saying, "My point of origin is Earth. I was created by specific individuals of the human race."
Incompatible music.
Did I say something wrong, or did you not understand?
You cannot be shallow deep. The ripples you cast into the void have no skin.
It seems I may have said something paradoxical. Interesting.
I'm sure that means something that I'm too unintelligent or not paying attention to understand. I was kind of getting killed. We're kind of near the iron, so let's go look for more. Where was the pure vein? Right here? Okay, so I'm walking the opposite direction. Oh, hello. Pure. Wow. Okay, maybe we go that way. Also, where's the coal again? Let's find that. I should be marking these, but I'm not. If the coal's here, which I think it was, right? Wow, there's a lot of coal over here. Temp? What does that mean? What does purity temp mean? I don't know. But the coal's over here. The iron's over here. Let's just go wander around until we find things. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Oh, hello. Oh, is it in the lake? Ah, there's one. My research is done. I totally forgot about that. Oh, no. Okay, well, and the coal's all the way over here. I'm really... okay, you know what? Let's head this way. Let's go towards the coal. Moving iron is easier than moving coal. Also, let's figure out what this thing needs. It is the one in the lake. Okay, well, let's see. What do you need? 60 megawatts. All right, well, we'll plug that in someday. Interesting. And there's a nice flat spaces down there, too. Okay, good. Also, I think this is a new biome. I haven't really seen these trees before. Oh, hello. I need that. Oh, okay, maybe we...
Witness a single strand of the tapestry.
Hey man, I'm getting attacked by something and I can't even see them, so shut up a second. Okay, now, the coal's down there somewhere, so let's see if there's any iron nearby. Wow, I did not see that one. Impure, temp, whatever that means. Impure. Okay, so this pure and these 4 would give me enough, or we overclock these 2. This would be more convenient, you know. That's 4 whole overclocks that we'd have to use, but there's a slug right there. Yeah, let's do it here. Okay, let's mark this all out. Boom, 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 boom. And also, I think these guys are mad that I am sitting here and they can't get to me. This looks like a boss arena if I had to guess, but, you know. Oh no, maybe it's just a flat space, which is great for factory building. Ah, here's the coal, and I did not bring any nobelisks. What on earth is that? They got spikes on their head. And they shoot blue plasma. Okay. Alright, so let's see. One of them's right there. That's fine. This one's covered up. I think the other 2 are this way. And they are both not covered up. So I don't actually need to get the Nobelisk. Okay, sweet. Why don't we just try to get everything kind of moved into the same location? At least to start. Let's do that. Alright, I think I'm going to try to build the actual building kind of over this way. We're going to have to get rid of all these trees, but luckily I did bring some chainsaws. So here we go. We're definitely going to need a larger area than this, but I ran out of concrete. And we're going to have to go back anyway, because I think I forgot something else. No, it's the power. We're going to have to run power out here, and that's going to involve running a power line. So I'm going to have to go back anyways. Also, all of this is going into steel, and the conveyor belts can run 270, and we need 180 steel. So we can actually just merge all of these together and run it on one line, which I feel like is going to be the best option. All right, and since I need more concrete, I'm going to have to go around back to the base anyway. So let's see. Can we build some power poles? We can. Okay, so we need to figure out where we want to actually have the main one, and you know what? Let's have a dedicated place for this guy right here. I'm out of concrete, cutting the hole in the floor again. Okay, so this is where our power input is going to be coming from. We can actually connect the drills to this if we want. There we go. And now we just need to run back to base, run a power line over here, get all the resources we need, and let's set some things up. I think I'm also going to go ahead and make a foundry blueprint because they make 45, which is kind of annoying, but actually we only need 180 coal. Oh, wait, this is the... oh, there's copper here too. That's good to know. Also, How do you get out of here? Oh, it's over there. Okay. Hang on a minute. I haven't scanned for limestone. We're gonna need some. Oh, it's literally, I'm looking at it. Jesus. Okay, also, we've got some over there and there. Pure? Wow, I just got knocked off. Thanks you for that one. That was extremely helpful. I really appreciate it. Your free trial on life has ended. What about this? Normal. Okay, now, I'm just thinking, right? Pure limestone vein, pure iron vein right here. Foundry recipe for iron doubles it, right? So if we were to feed enough concrete in here, or enough limestone, we could get all of the iron we need for these modular frames from this one pure iron vein. Did a little bit of calculation. To actually get that, we are going to need a full pure vein of limestone and a slightly overclocked normal vein, because we need 144 instead of 120. I think that's actually doable, and if we found 2 pure veins, we could use the overflow of that to run the actual concrete we're going to need for the encased steel beams, which I believe 60 concrete, we need 180. Oof, okay, maybe not. Yikes! That's a lot. So we need 384, so 564 limestone for that. I don't think that's worth it. There's not enough limestone in the general area to warrant that, unless we get a better recipe from the hard drive we just scanned. Oh, wow. Automated speed wiring? Interesting. So stators, copper wire, and high-speed connector. Interesting. Or we get an alternate for pure quartz, which I bet this is more quartz per quartz. We just feed it with water. 5-3 or 9-7, that is a much better ratio. So let's do this. We're probably going to be needing these, but I actually don't know the original recipe. What is it? Oh, well, this is significantly cheaper, I think. And I don't have a whole lot of uses for quartz. So you know what? Let's just get this in the instance that we do need to make those. And I'm pretty sure we do. So, okay, let's get that one. Let's get the next one scanning. I've got all my stuff, probably. Let me grab some more miners, and then we can head back over there and get to work. Oh, and we need to run the power pole. All right, we're back. Power line is over here, and I'm standing by the 2 normal iron veins over here. No, wait, these are the impure ones. Yes, the 2 impure ones. These will be getting 60 and 60 for 120 total. But, you know, we do have that alternate recipe, so instead of just super overclocking these, I can just use the limestone vein that you can conveniently see right down there to double the output of these guys without having to deal with any overclocking at all, which would be kind of nice, because then we can just send a pure 240 iron ingots down one conveyor belt all the way over to there instead of having to run a whole bunch of them, which would be great. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I'm probably going to have to make another factory somewhere and get all the limestone, all the iron merged together, so I'll probably end up putting it right over here, and then we can run it down the ramp right over there. Okay, maybe I want to put the actual factory over there. Okay, you know what? Let me just deal with it, and I'll show you when it's done. And for the record, this is a pure limestone vein. This is producing 240. I think we need about 192, so I may want to drop the output on that thing just a little bit to save on some power, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's actually figure out what we need first. Oh, and you want to know what I didn't do? I didn't make that foundry blueprint. So why don't we just make one on site? All right, there you go. Pretty simple blueprint. Just 2 foundries, 2 lines. You know, no biggie. And then we get to use these pretty much right away. Alright, here is the factory in all of its glory. Now this should be enough to make exactly 240 iron ingots per minute, which is good because that means we can combine it with the other pure iron vein over there to get our 480 actual required iron for this thing. Wow! Okay, that's a lot, and luckily we've kind of built over the lake, so I'm probably just going to run a little line of foundations that go that way, and then we can drop it down onto our main production platform down there. Alright, well, we will get the iron moved over here in a second. This is some of the pure stuff. Now, I do realize we are going to need to move actual iron ore over here, so that is going to be the actual iron component stuff, because we are going to need 180 of it for the steel. Yep, we're going to need 180 of it for the actual steel, so we just need 2 smelters for the pure iron vein, and the rest will go into steel production. And then that 240 that we're getting will be going into modular frames and screws mostly. Okay, now I did run out of modular frames, so I'm gonna have to go grab some more. And also, I think our next research is completed, so we can go get our next alternate recipe. And I think I can also just run the power line up to the little lake that we saw over here, because there is that one over there. And we may want to just do that, because then we can get some extra alternate recipes, which are always nice to have. And of course, not to forget the actual thing we're here for. Alright, let's see what we got. New hard drive scan. Here we go. Something good, please. Oh! Oh, wait a minute. Alternate steel canister? Never gonna use that. Let's be honest. Alternate stitched iron plate, though? Interesting. This is huge. I'm getting this no matter what. Let's also get the next one started. And let's go ahead and just look at that. That might be really good, and I might actually be able to use that. That is nasty. Why? Let's convert that back to 5. Let's try 4.5, maybe? There we go. That's better. 4.5. 15 iron plates a minute and 30 copper wire will get us 4.5 reinforced iron plates per minute. In comparison, 60 screws and 30 iron plates to get 5 per minute. So we basically reduce the cost of iron by, oh, I don't know, a lot. So instead of 2 drills for 5 reinforced plates, we can get away with half a drill plus some copper. And 1 copper vein will give us enough to get 4 of these. I gotta do some math because we have that copper vein right next to the pure iron vein. We might be able to do this and save on some iron potentially. Although to be fair, I guess we don't really need to because we've already got everything set up over there. Oof. Yeah, that is a valid point. So, but let's just do this just as a for fun type of things, just so we can see the actual numbers here. Let's just overclock this a lot. All right, but now we can just add these two together. So we need exactly 100 copper wire a minute and 50 iron plates a minute to get all of the reinforced plates we need. So that's 50 copper ingots and 75 iron per minute to get all that instead of 180 iron. So we substitute in about 50 copper per minute and then we get back 105 iron. Wow, that's a pretty good save. I am really considering doing that now. Okay, so this is a normal copper vein, so we can extract 120 out of it. And I believe we needed 50 for 15 and 75 out of this guy. This makes 120. So yeah, we can squeeze out a whole bunch of modular frames out of this thing, which I'm half tempted to do and just split off and have some extra production. You know what? Why don't we do this? Let's set up steel first, and then we'll deal with that. I figured this would be the case, which is why I set up the steel first. We need iron ore specifically for the steel, and the iron ore we're getting from over there, since we already have that set up, is coming in as ingots because we're doubling it with limestone. So I think our best course of action is to just do it normally, and then when we need more heavy modular frames, we probably will need more, let's be honest, we'll come back over here, rip this entire thing apart, and use some of the new alternate recipes we have built up. Specifically, better reinforced plates, but also probably some other ones that I don't know about yet that hopefully we'll get once that other one gets completed. Anyways, let's go ahead and hook this all up. In comes the iron, and there we have our steel. Okay, sweet. I'm also going to need to remember this is 240, this consumes 180, so we need to have 2 smelteries over here outputting from the iron up here, which is, that's kind of weird, but you know, it's gonna be fine. Just don't look too close, I guess. Now, I think the best course of action is to let this all just build up over time, so I think we're gonna just let these kind of cook until they're full, and then we'll connect all the other factories, which is what I'm going to build now. We need, consulting the manual here, 60 for 40 pipes, so 2 of these guys will be making pipes, and the rest will be going into steel beams, combined with concrete to make encased steel beams. Alright, there we go. Concrete is going in, and we should be making our encased steel beams. Looks like we are. We also got our little steel pipe factory going over there. Now the concrete scenario, that is a normal vein, so it only makes 120. We need 180, so that is overclocked to 150% using one of the little power slug dudes that I brought with me. Now all we need is modular frames and screws. So now let's think about this. We have 60 iron right there. How many screws did we need? Probably a lot. Actually, you know what? This worked out pretty well. These two can just go straight into a screw factory, and I'm gonna have to, I'm sure we can figure something out. But yeah, we just run those into a screw factory. We need about we need 240, and each one of them makes around, I think it was 30. And what better way to build a screw factory than making a blueprint for 120 screws a minute? Yeah, I'm not gonna place this down like 30,000 times. We're gonna need screws pretty much all the time, so let's just make a blueprint for it. And I did just learn right there that there is a way to clear the blueprint designer without deconstructing everything by hand. Good to know. I will use that if I remember it. All right, so there's the screws done, and now we just need to do our modular frames, which I believe 240 should be enough. 180 of which will go into reinforced plates. The other 60 will go into iron rods, and then everything will get merged together to make modular frames. Basically, we're doing exactly what we did last episode again. But you know what? Before we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and place the manufacturer down, because eventually I'm going to have to turn this thing on, and we're going to have to plug everything in, and half the stuff's already done, so why don't we just put it all together, at least for now, so we can at least have some of the materials being built up, right? Ah, there we go. Look at this. Totally not a logistical nightmare getting these screws over here or anything. Nope, that's not weird at all. Anyways, look at that. Everything's coming in. Just got to do some modular frames. Vertical integration. That's how it's done. Okay, yeah, we're going to clear out this entire tree area and do everything over here. Hopefully I can get this done pretty quickly because I've done this before and I've got a blueprint already ready to go for modular frames, which was made last time. Well, bad news, ran out of cable, so I have to run back to base. But we can also now get our next alternate recipe, which will probably be the last one for this episode. Because once we have modular frames, the advanced modular frames, I should say, that's going to be it. Because, man, this is taking a while. There we go. 3-dimensional depots down and some upgraded storage. Yes, that did take as long as you thought it did. Oh my god. Moving an entire box of stuff when your inventories go full of garbage takes a long time. All right, let's take a look. Hard drive. Here we go. What do we get? Ooh, something. Ooh, whoa. Interesting. Whoa. Okay, alternate oil recipe, 6 oil to 13 residue and 2 heavy residue. Or rubber and coal to make circuit boards instead of copper sheets and plastic. Now, call me crazy, but I feel like the normal recipe is better for circuit boards anyways, because coal is kind of hard to come by and it's used in like basically everything that's useful. But this might be able to get more plastic out of our oil, so I'm going to go with this one. All right, and that is it for the alternate recipes today. I have 5 Mercer spheres remaining. That is my entire stock. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to increase the upload speed. All right, upload speed. There we go.
Dimensional upload speed increased. Part of the kinetic and thermal energy released during matter conversion has now been repurposed to aid with dimensional shifting, allowing for more parts to be transferred in a short time frame.
Loop the veins, use the flow, make a curve out of a line. Your shallow minds create shallow solutions. Pretty ripples.
Shallow mind? Pretty ripples? I certainly hope that wasn't meant to include me.
I hope it was. I really do. Okay, also, while we're over here, should we just get some research going? We might as well, you know, because we're just kind of sitting here. We haven't had much to do other than make this modular frame factory. So let's just go ahead and start this one, Logistics Mark IV. We need rubber encased beams and modular frames. Just grab some beams right there. We can grab some rubber right there. Unfortunately, we are going to need some more encased steel beams, so I'm going to have to run over there and grab some because we are going to run out. But that shouldn't be too bad. Let me go grab some modular frames as well, and then we can see how good these conveyors are. I'm probably going to still end up using the Mark IIIs, mostly because they're pretty cheap. And this research will legitimately use pretty much every single modular frame that I had. Yeah, maybe we want to rework the modular frame factory again because there's so much. All right, let's go finish off this factory. It's been a long time coming. Let's get this done. Almost forgot to do the research.
Milestone reached. The transportation of resources can reach new heights of efficiency. With the Mark IV belts and lifts, the truck, but even more importantly, your effort. Handling a large and complicated vehicle like the truck should come easy to a well-trained pioneer such as you. They are an obvious improvement over tractors concerning industrial purposes. Improvements for personal use were not measured.
Well, that's too bad. All right, well, we do have Mark IV conveyors. And, oh, wow. Okay, 480 a minute, and they just use encased steel beams, which actually is not that bad. All things considered. I mean, yes, that's going to be incredibly slow to build up, but if we ever need some insanely high throughput, we can just run some of those and then split off into maybe the Mark IIIs once we get to our destination. Encased steel beams are pretty expensive on the coal front, mostly the coal front, because the actual steel beams themselves are pretty pricey, and I do not have alternate recipes for those. If there's an alternate recipe for those, I'm doing it the second we get it, because man, those are slow. All right, and there we have it. This should be our modular frame factory. We still need to actually construct the reinforced plates. Our rods are down there. Just get everything merged together and placed pretty much, and then we should be able to batch everything up into the actual modular frames right there, send them in, and we'll be good. All right, there we have it. Modular frames are going in, and now we should start constructing our first heavy modular frames. Oh boy, that was a process. Yeah, this is a huge factory, probably the biggest one I've built to date. And that's not surprising considering you need 4 very advanced components that goes into these things. All right, max consumption is now 2,800 megawatts. That's kind of a lot. Currently consuming about 1,600 though. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Looks like everything is working as intended and we have our first constructed heavy modular frame right there. I think that's going to do it for this episode. This is the hugest thing I've ever built. Let's go up there and just get a good look at it. Also, hopefully by the time I get up there, it won't be nighttime so I can actually see this thing in all of its glory. Yep, there we have a pretty nice view of the entire factory. Unfortunately, there's a couple of present beams in the way, but there you go. That's the whole thing. And that is for two heavy modular frames per minute. Yep, looking good, and that is where we will end off today. Next episode, we are probably going to try to make those next space elevator components, because the versatile frameworks are done, and we're kind of just sitting around right now. We'll also probably try to get some research knocked out, depending on how difficult those two things are to build. Goodbye.